What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick.
My name's Nathan.
And this is Full Throttle Cars. Today, we're going to be showing you why the Toyota Prius is the best car to buy if you're on a budget. So with that said, we'll jump right into the video. Alright guys, so jumping under the hood of this hybrid vehicle, you see the super tiny motor. This is a 110 horsepower, 1.5 liter, 4-cylinder motor, which actually isn't that much smaller than my Civic engine, but what this car also has and what makes it a hybrid is this high voltage system right here. So in this car you have an electric motor, you have some batteries that help push the car forward with gas and electric power. Alright, so like I said, whenever I was looking up under the hood, this is a hybrid vehicle. You can see that right there. And what a hybrid vehicle means is that it uses both the power of gas and electrics. Whenever it is slowing down or even sitting, sometimes it is charging to use the electric system. And this mixture of gas and electric creates a very fuel efficient, very economic car. You're going to get 51 miles to the gallon on the highway, and even better, 60 miles to the gallon in the city when you're driving this vehicle. Alright guys, so another reason this is a good buy if you only can have one car and you're on a budget, this is a hatchback, meaning it's got a lot of space in it for being a smaller car. You can take a look here in the hatch area. You can see a lot of space. You can fit a lot of stuff in here while still seating 5 people. Now you can also put these seats down if you need more space. You can click this button right at the top here, and then that comes down and the seat folds down and you have all this more space. Both sides can come down as well, so plenty of space if you need it. Alright guys, so another thing that adds to the value of this car is it's a Toyota, so reliability is the first thing you think of. Also, the inside here has held up extremely well. These cloth seats look almost brand new, and this car has over 200,000 miles. Also, all these buttons in here, they're all still very readable, very little wear shown, definitely not what you would expect from something with so many miles. Alright guys, so we just hopped into the car. We're going to take this thing for a drive, show you guys a little bit. But before we do that, let's show you the starting process. So first, you take the key and you stick it into this little slot, and then you hold the brake down and push the power button. And listen, and you might hear something you won't expect. So the car is actually on. Alright guys, so the car is on, and you could probably hear it's pretty faint, the motor. Oftentimes whenever you start up this car, it does not fire up the motor right away, at least the gas powered one. Oftentimes it's operating on the electric motor and it doesn't idle that much. So an interesting thing in these Priuses, this is actually from 2006, but you've got a screen here and you can see now that we're just sitting here at an idle, at a stop, the engine was actually charging the battery. And if you just heard right there, the engine actually turned off because we're not moving and the battery is fully charged. So there's something interesting and a neat little feature that you can see on that screen. You can also, right here while you're driving, push this down into B, which is an engine brake, which will then also charge the battery. And a lot of times you can use that instead of your actual foot brake. So right here you can see right now we're operating fully on electric power. The battery is used to power the electric motor and the wheels. Now you can see that just because we're moving really slowly right now. Once we pick up some speed and get on the main road, it will actually change to the engine, and maybe we'll be able to hear that turn on here in a moment. But just an interesting graphic here. It's really cool to see. Alright guys, so just under normal driving right here, you can see the engine, the gas engine, is what's powering the wheels right now. It's also running the electric motor, which is being used to recharge the battery, and Nathan is hitting the B, the engine brake down there, and you can see it is now charging the electric motor from the braking. So here's a situation where you have the electric motor and the gas engine powering the wheels, and now you can just see that electric motor part turned off, and now it's only charging the battery. Alright guys, so I want to mention something when I'm driving, and I don't want to sound too negative when I say this, but this is not a fast car. I know we like fast cars on the channel, but you can feel the economy in this car, in that whenever you try to go 0 to 60 and put your foot to the floor, it feels like you're driving very, very normally. But then also what I want to say is whenever I use this brake mode, and it can show you right here on the screen, I actually do feel the charging right now. and I feel that it's slowing down more than if you were just coasting and it was air resistance. Like, we were going about 45 and we are already going 20, and we are decelerating pretty quickly. So even though it isn't fast, it's actually really cool, and all of the screens, they really offer just a nice user interface.
Alright guys, so another interesting screen here is the consumption screen. You can see in the middle you've got your average MPGs over this trip, then you've got the current MPGs there in a bar on the right, which will go up and down as you can see. Then we've also got an average MPG over the last so many minutes, and you can see that little half of a green car down there on that first bar is showing that you've regenerated 25 watt-hours of electricity for the electric motor, or from the electric motor to the battery, which is a really neat thing. And if you get a full car, then that's obviously 50 as it shows up there, but it's really neat to see how over the last 30 minutes how much you can regenerate and what your average miles per gallon are. Alright guys, so just some of my thoughts on this car. It's a very budget friendly car. You can get these for around $5,000. You should just make sure that the battery has been replaced relatively recently, because that's really the only thing that will go bad on these cars. These things will last so long. Even if you do need to replace the battery, if you replace that battery, you've got several 100,000 miles you can get on this car. This one's got over 200,000 miles right now, and it still feels like it's running pretty well. Now, this car gets such good miles per gallon, especially in a time like this. We just did a 400-mile road trip, and we didn't even have to stop for gas. This thing has a little bit over a 10-gallon tank, I think maybe a 10-gallon tank. All right, guys, so to wrap up this video, I just want to mention some of my driving impressions, because I did drive it a significant amount on a road trip we just recently went on. You get such good miles per gallon. We only filled up once on our 400-something mile road trip right at the end, so really good gas mileage. Again, this is something, if you're on a budget and looking for something that will save you money at the pump, as well as a lower cost of entry, lower maintenance costs, this is the car for you. Personally, I would not own one of these. I just prefer a more fun and engaging driving experience. However, this does have some pretty neat gadgets, as we showed you, where you can see the energy consumption and where it's all being distributed. Really neat to see. But Nathan, you can give your thoughts. You just drove it there. But
yeah, it was enjoyable enough of a ride that I could see, if gas prices went up even further, that maybe I would consider purchasing one of these or something with similar fuel efficiency. Hint, hint, towards a video in the future.
All right, guys, so that is going to do it for this video today. If you enjoyed and learned something, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, share the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye, guys.